けクリエーションズ
Hey, Ken here. Today, let's talk about the colorful and lively Chinese New Year festivities. As a Filipino, I've always found it fascinating how we celebrate this occasion. The streets and malls are filled with Chinese decorations, and you can feel the energy in the air. During this time of year, one thing that really catches everyone's attention is the exchange of angpaos. Those are the little red envelopes that bring good fortune and blessings. And now, I'm feeling very inspired, so I'll make my very own angpaos, infused with the spirit of the Chinese New Year and the Year of the Wood Dragon. But before we get started, let's whip up our very own custom brush on Adobe Illustrator. So first, click on Windows and go to Brushes, open New Brushes, and then choose Calligraphic Brush. Change the size to 4 and choose Pressure. Change the variation to 4 and there you go. Feel free to experiment with different sizes until you find a perfect fit that meets your standards. As you can see, I start by sketching directly on Adobe Illustrator. Over the years, I've found that my workflow and progress have significantly improved since I switched from sketching on paper with a pencil and then scanning it to sketching directly on the computer. Personally, I find it incredibly beneficial to work quickly and without any hassles. One of the biggest advantages of digital sketching is the ability to undo and redo actions. Mistakes can be corrected instantly, allowing a more fluid and efficient creative process without the worry of permanent marks on the paper. This also allows us to work with multiple layers, making it easier to organize our sketches and experiment with different elements without affecting the underlying artwork. This feature is useful for refining details, adding shading, or making adjustments to specific parts of your sketches. Engaging in digital sketching offers numerous advantages, so don't be discouraged. Learning from mistakes enhances our progress. So I'm halfway to nearly completing the sketch. Just to recap, the concept features a modern stylish warrior wearing a Chinese warrior's helmet with a Chinese wood dragon in the background. And I hope I successfully pull off the vision I have for this piece. Wish me luck. I believe I've completed the sketch phase for now. I tend to not spend too much time on my sketches as their main purpose is for composition. I typically focus more on adding details during the next stage, which is the line art. But before proceeding, I'll take a break and continue working on it on the next day. And since it's the Chinese New Year, I may as well take some time to relax over the weekend. And now the break is done, let's get back to it. But first, let's make one custom brush to use for the whole line art phase. First, make a straight line, select it, go to the top bar and click on Uniform. Drag the stroke bar to the brush palette, select Art Brush, click on OK, and don't forget to make sure it is scaled proportionately. Feel free to experiment with the various stroke widths and shapes on the Uniform bar. The previous instruction serves as a brief guide on how I create my custom brushes in Adobe Illustrator. So now that's done, let's proceed to the next step. I alternate between the custom stroke brush and the pen tool or the pencil tool. These are the primary tools I use for the line work. Experimenting with different strokes helped me achieve a more visually appealing look for the entire illustration. I am looking into the line art process and found some cool stuff about Chinese warrior armory and weaponry. It's so much fun to draw inspiration from these references because it makes my illustration look super authentic and detailed. References are awesome because they guide artists and provide insight, inspiration, and a deeper understanding of the subject matter being portrayed. I feel like I can infuse my illustrations with depth and realism by using references, which ultimately makes my artwork way better. Personally, I think it's a good idea to do a lot of research before starting a project. Research helps to expand your creative library big time. When you explore different sources of inspiration like history, culture, nature, pop culture, fashion, or art styles, you get to broaden your knowledge and diversify your creative influences. Research also helps me to see things from new perspectives, push my boundaries, and challenge my artistic norms. By digging into various forms of art like literature, music, or scientific discoveries, I get to draw inspiration from unexpected sources and add fresh ideas to my work. Overall, research is a powerful tool for me to expand my creative horizon, discover new artistic pathways, and keep growing as a creator. Currently, I am using a blue stroke color for the dragon as it's on a separate layer. This approach serves as a visual cue for me during the coloring stage, as I intend to use a different line color for the Chinese dragon, different from the main black line color used for the rest of the illustration. Considering the wood dragon as the main theme, I thought about using wood-like texture for the horns and leaf-like texture for the scales. I also decided to add small flowers to emphasize its connection to nature. Like the dragon, I've gone for a different color scheme for the flowers, but keep in mind that these colors aren't final. The flowers are on a separate layer, so I can easily tweak them or move them around as needed. I guess that's about it for the line art phase. Time to take a break, stretch my legs, and seek inspiration for the upcoming coloring session. Even during my breaks, I like to keep the creativity flowing. Normally, I'd sketch during my coffee breaks, but since I've already had 2 cups this morning, let's switch it up with a nice cup of tea instead. Taking a break is always a good thing, especially when you're feeling stuck with your art. While coloring in my sketchbook, I couldn't help but notice the intricate patterns and vibrant color of the teacups. Now this gives me an idea on how we move to the next phase. In my color process, I like to begin with the skin tone of the character. It helps me effortlessly coordinate their skin tone with the outfit color. It's kind of like in fashion where certain colors complement different skin tones. Just like picking the perfect outfit, choosing the right colors can bring a character to life. Coloring can sometimes feel like a puzzle, but I've picked up some handy tips on simply observing everyday things around me. From the pattern on the carpets to the vibrant use of candy packaging and the beautiful color found in nature, there's inspiration everywhere. And by sharpening our observation skills and taking note of color combinations in the world around us, we can enhance our ability to choose the perfect colors for our artwork. So remember to keep an eye out for these color details in your surroundings. It's a fun and practical way to level up your coloring game. Just like how the teacups inspired me earlier, I took inspiration from its pattern and colors for my character's outfit design. Drawing inspiration from everyday objects can really speed up the creative process and make finishing this piece a little bit faster. As I work on the Chinese dragon, I've chosen a golden color to bring it to life. In the Chinese culture, a golden dragon symbolizes good fortune, which adds a touch of prosperity to the artwork. Additionally, the golden color creates a striking contrast with the character in the foreground, enhancing the visual impact of this piece. Approaching the end, we're adding final touches and quickly setting up the layout. We're incorporating our finished artwork into an Angpao design that we found on Google to create a cohesive finish. And finally, I give you the golden dragon egg. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.